Bring an historic ruling in the court battle over Michigan's ban on gay marriage. A lesbian couple challenged the law in a case that started when they wanted to adopt their children as a couple. And no matter which way the court decision goes, it's sure to cause quite a bit of controversy. 7 Action News reporter Andy Choi is live outside the federal courthouse tonight. And Andy, any idea what it's going to look like out there tomorrow?
I'm guessing a lot of people, Carolyn. Proceedings in court start at 2:30 in the afternoon. At noon, a rally outside the courthouse steps in support of same-sex marriage. At the center of it all, two women who are hoping to cheer for more than just a game for a win at Comerica Park. Take a wild guess at what Jane Rouse and April DeBoer were watching tonight, all as their 3 children kept themselves preoccupied.
Just a hit, Miggy.
The Tigers game didn't go their way, but the Hazel Park couple hopes Wednesday's federal court ruling will. They're asking the court to overturn 2004 same-sex marriage ban, in addition to striking Michigan's adoption code, which does not allow joint adoption by gay and lesbian couples.
This was never intended to be a marriage fight. It intended to be a second parent adoption fight. So that was very emotional for us too, making that decision on whether or not we wanted to challenge the marriage ban.
As same-sex couples in Michigan wait for this potentially historic ruling, supporters of the ban say one judge should not have the power to change the current law.
It is unconscionable to think that a single federal judge purports to have legitimate constitutional or moral authority to overturn the votes of tens of millions of Americans, in our case in Michigan, 2.7 million voters.
For us, it could be the beginning of the end, you know, the beginning of being a legal family.
Cautiously optimistic. We'll see what happens.
For Jane and April, the ruling will transcend more than just the bond between themselves.
This is for the kids. It's not for us. It's never been about our relationship. It's been about our relationship to the kids.
Whichever side loses in Detroit on Wednesday or whenever the judge issues his decision will appeal that decision to the Court of Appeals in Cincinnati.
Now, there is a chance that the judge may not rule on this tomorrow. It all depends on the judge's prerogative. Now, you heard both sides acknowledge that if a ruling comes down and it's not for them, both sides acknowledging they will appeal. This case may ultimately end up in the U.S. Supreme Court. Reporting live outside downtown Detroit, Andy Choi, 7 Action News.
All right, Andy, thank you for that live report. As Andy just mentioned, an appeal is expected either way on this. But if the ban is lifted, there may be a very short window of opportunity for same-sex couples to get married in certain counties that have prepared gender-neutral marriage licenses. Bishop Jerry Brohl, a former priest who now has a Catholic interfaith church not associated with the Vatican, says he will be ready to perform the nuptials.
I think one of the things that Jesus was most interested in was making sure that people who were marginalized were represented and acknowledged and loved.
There will be a rally outside the Detroit Federal Courthouse tomorrow, as Andy mentioned, and if the same-sex marriage ban is overturned, we're told there could be a wedding right there on the courthouse steps.